Ah, the world of Minecraft. Nothing more like finding iron and some coal and such. Just then, our main character decides to mine some coal with his iron pickaxe. He found this cave a while back for some ores and minerals he needs to survive this dangerous world that we call Minecraft. He starts to mine more of this coal. He decides how many he has. He has 59. Plenty of coal, he thought. But why not get some more? It could end up being useful. Perhaps later on, he thought, he could craft an iron sword. This iron sword's starting to get very broken. He finishes mining the coal, finding out he has 72 lumps of coal. But wait, there's more coal. That's gonna make 76. Yes, that's right, he can do math. He then finds some iron, which could be very useful for later on, as he needs more iron to repair his sword. Just then, he finds some more coal. More coal for me, he thought. He then mines more coal, and another coal, and another coal, and another coal, and another one, and another one, until he's done mining all this vein of coal. He doesn't care how much there is, as long as there's a bunch of coal, he will go for it. How big is this vein, he wondered. This must be like at least 50 or so coal in just this one vein. In fact, he's already has 36 in his second pile. That's already 32 more than what he had before. That's half a stack. He's still mining this coal. All this coal, taking up all of his pickaxe. It's already half broken. He proceeds to be correct. There is at least over 50 coal in this vein. In fact, the exact approximation of it would be approximately 48, which is pretty dang close to what he thought earlier. He dug out a mini cave with this coal vein, which is pretty cool, he thought. He then proceeds to build his way up into the main cave level. Finding more coal, he decides to mine it, because who cannot have more coal? He's probably just gonna mine 4 more. Perhaps. And I'm right. Because the narrator is always right. Because the narrator knows everything. Except for this. The narrator did not anticipate this zombie to come attack the player. But don't worry, the player's got his own back covered. He fends off the zombie and the incoming spider from a sneak attack. The spider hoped he can take out at least some of his armor right here, but no. Iron is simply too strong for him. He finds another zombie. Wondering how much more his sword can take, he decides to go and kill it. And just like that, the sword breaks from his hand as he kills the zombie. With such raw power, he thought. He mines more of the iron from the ceiling of the cave. He has 37 iron ore now. But then he finds one more, and another one, and another one, and another one. And just like that, he's found 5 more. Oh, and another one. But he decides to lay up the area as it's too dark to go any mining at all. He has no idea where he's heading through these caves. It's the first time he's been here for a while. And just like that, he falls into a waterfall. Another waterfall, that is. And then he finds himself at level 21. It's almost approaching diamond level. Then he finds a ravine. And some gold on the floor. Hoping he can find some diamond, he decides to go investigate. Not after mining this gold ore that is just lying right at the wall of the ravine. He mines some of this gold ore and then realizes, oh my god, I'm flippin' rich, is what he thought. He proceeds to fend off the zombies, 3 of them in fact, with a stone axe. Because he is a total baddie. Because this player does not swear, that's why. He's a very good boy. And then another zombie decides to sneak attack him. But once again, the power of iron armor is too much for him to handle. And the stone axe as well. He mines more gold. After this, perhaps he'll go find some diamond. Just perhaps. But, oh, then at this very moment, he spots a zombie going into his hole, who drops in a free iron ingot just for him. Very nice gift, he thought. He finishes mining all the ore and decides to go some diamond mining, or at least finding, hoping he can find some diamond with success. First, he blocks off all this incoming water from the lava in fear that a skeleton might shoot him in. He made it successfully past, so now he's free to explore the rest of the ravine. In fact, this ravine does go down to diamond level, just there's no diamond in sight. This fact upsets him. All he can find is his dumb coal, redstone, and lapis, and that dang iron ore he's already mined so much of. He decides to light up the area anyway, and continue down, further down the ravine, hoping for some diamond. But little did he know, he would come with no success. Disappointed by his failure, he decides to go back. A zombie eyes him from above the ravine. Can the zombie drop down? Yes, the zombie does indeed drop down from, and just like that, he's pushed into lava, never to breathe again. Because he died, that's why. Anyway, the player then proceeds to climb up the other side of the ravine, hoping for some other luck. That perhaps his dreamed of ore is here, that he calls diamond. He's never found diamond before, but he knows where to find him. He hopes he can come home rich from diamond, as he has no girlfriend to go home to help him. Oh god, he lost his thought all of a sudden. He sees his waterfall and he's suddenly distracted by its flowing nature. What he was thinking of is that he has no girlfriend at home anyway. Quite frankly, he has no friends at all. No friends to comfort him in his time of need. So it is imperative that he finds his diamond. But he found some of emerald, which is pretty good to him as well. Emerald's pretty good, he thought. Maybe I could trade this to some villagers. They seem to love this emerald. So he mines it. Then he finds himself countered by a skeleton who keeps bow spamming crap out of him. He then takes a screenshot of his coordinates in case he dies, because it is inevitable that he's probably going to die from this bow spamming skeleton. The player's game keeps lagging as he's trying to run away from the skeleton. He finds himself with no food, only 2 hearts remaining. He decides to take a chance and eat this rotten flesh, only to be poisoned as soon as he eats it. He decides not to move for a little bit as he chows down on this disgusting rotten flesh, but however, it is the only way for him to heal up from such a bow spamming skeleton. He also decides to block himself up in case a mob decides to sneak attack him right in the middle of his regeneration time. He continues to eat more, realizing there's only 28 seconds left in his hunger poison. All he needs to do is heal up. That's all he needs. He doesn't care about starving, he just cares about living. He decides that it's not worth going down here anymore. So he decides to build his way up, hopefully not to run into some gravel, as that gravel would just go and suffocate him. So he goes and prepares himself a second side, in case the dreaded gravel decides to strike. He mines some more coal in the process. Now he's mining double walls. He continues to mine up further away, past the underground of diamonds. Oh, but then he just realized he forgot to dig his emergency exit. But don't worry, he just remembered. He continues to build up. He digs his trench. He digs all the way up, hoping that no gravel will show, for he would have to move to his left in order to avoid it. Because gravel, they will suffocate him, and the last thing he wants to be today is suffocated. He finds himself already above the surface, almost, that is. So level 56. Then just like that, sand comes down. This is why he's built the ditch. Then he realizes that he's actually in some water right now, until more sand comes to suffocate him, but he evades it, and he finds himself in the water with a creeper. of all mobs to start out with. As soon as he goes above ground, he finds himself on the lid of Extreme Hills Island. However, it is nighttime, so all the mobs are out to murder him in the face. He hides his sheep, which he then proceeds to kill with his axe. Seeing him surrounded by every mob in the game, he decides to take a run for it, despite how much hunger he has. He lets the creeper behind him blow up. Well, not blow up, what he thought blew up, until he turned his back. He hides his sheep again and kills it with his axe. Hoping to find where he lives, which is hopeless considering he is a nomad, he decides to climb up this hill and make shelter for the night there, seeing it as the most safe place to hide out for the night. He then proceeds to build a little hut for himself. It's not an extensive hut, but it's enough for him to survive in. As it is nighttime, anything needs to be done in order to survive this dreaded hour of day in Minecraft. He finishes the hut, almost. Now he finishes it, places a torch. Seeing if he has enough wool to build a bed, he does not. He would need to go out and get some if he wants to skip the night. He then proceeds to fall down for some strange reason. And then he falls down again, 1 heart remaining. He decides to take a screenshot of his coordinates again, in case if he dies. Now all he needs to do is evade the rest of the mobs, and then he can go back. Oh, but there's a skeleton. The worst mob to start with. Seeing its sunrise right now. And then just like that, the skeleton starts shooting at him. 1 half heart remaining. He's almost dead. He is exhausted from his long night of evading monsters. He then makes it back home. His poorly built hut. He then blocks the rest of it up. He decides to craft a crafting table real fast so he can at least get some minutes of sleep. He breaks the wall, places the crafting table, and then proceeds to make his bed, realizing he does not have the 3rd wool. Seeing his impending death, he decides to say goodbye to his life. He wants to make a chest first, so he could store all of his stuff, because he wants to make sure the next guy who owns this stuff will take better care of it than he did. He hopes, that is. There's no place for his armor, so he decides to craft more chests, just for his armor. He then grabs out another pickaxe, and then places it right here. Places the rest of the stuff there in his armor, and he decides to say goodbye to his life. And just like that, he dies.